Well, Black Monday, huh? It's going to happen tomorrow, probably. Tomorrow is going to be a really interesting day, you know? It's going to be rather intriguing to see what happens because this is what the futures market is looking, right? Like right now, right? Huge dip. And this was just after the markets closed. I mean, it's been steadily been going down and down and down because what the assumption is like, yeah, the retaliations are going to happen, right? The tariff retaliations, everyone talking with each other, making deals, essentially like coming together, like 150 different countries coming together against the US to be like, no, stop doing stupid shit. This is what Curtis Yarvin wanted. You're probably correct, Boy Meets Mini. I don't think it's an accurate thing to say. Curtis Yarvin, for those who don't know, is he's like a weirdo techno feudalist. Like he's just a psychopath, and he pretty much is guiding like the ideology of like all these like tech oligarchs, your Mark Andreessens of the world, Peter Thiel's, um, the other dude that's on like Mark Andreessen's podcast, the brown dude. I don't remember his name. Um, it's all like Curtis Yarvin thought. And he's just like he's a fucking monarchist, basically, right? Like he wants a monarchy. He wants the market to crash because, like I said before, why does Curtis Yarvin want the market to crash? Well, pretty obvious, isn't it? Because if the market crashes and the economy becomes heavily simplified, the oligarchs are going to be the ones who benefit the most because all these smaller businesses, all these other smaller companies go bankrupt. They're forced to have to go on sale. All the fucking private equity guys can come in, grab all that stuff, strip it for parts, and then sell off the rest. And then this is how you fucking abandon overall small town America. This has been constantly happening for the past 40 years. Looking at you, Benny Johnson, with like your stupid idiocy. You want to know how like small town America got destroyed? It wasn't only the outsourcing. Outsourcing was the main sort of driver of it, but now it's also because all these private equity freaks buy up all the local assets, buy up all the local businesses and everything, strip it for parts, sell off the rest, and turn a huge profit. That's what happens. Like in the Ben Jordan video, he talked about how there was like in 1996 there was 8,000 American companies that could be publicly traded. Now it's 4,000. Maybe wondering why is that the case? Private equity. Yeah, just like you're saying, Boy Meets Mini. This is a huge win for private equity. They get to just gobble all this shit up. 8,000 to 4,000. Curious. No, it'd be curious if it was to from 8,000 to 40,000. Okay. Yeah, we've seen all the like the memes. This is being compared to Reagan's market crash, right here. And I have to say, it's eerily similar. Now, if I recall correctly, the reasoning why this happened, why Reagan's crash happened, this was when like was this over Iran Contra or was this over tax cuts he did? I don't 100% remember why did Reagan's crash happen. Why did the stock market crash in 1987? Black Monday 1987. Possible explanations for the initial fall in stock prices include a nervous fear that stocks were significantly overvalued and were certain to undergo a correction, persistent U.S. trade and budget deficits, and rising interest rates. Oh yeah, that's right. Because of all the cutting that Reagan was doing in terms of the social safety net, and because of all the money he was spending on the military, interest rates were starting to go up, right? And because of that, it made all the investors fearful, and then it caused a crash in the stock market. Nice meme. Black Monday was preceded by a bearish week in which the headline indexes gave up around 10% for the week. It is thought the cause of the crash was program-driven trading models that follow a portfolio insurance strategy in tandem with investor panic. I'm curious, so like, what made the investors panic? This time it's not as coincidental, it's deliberate. These tariffs were completely unnecessary and dumb. Well, yeah, exactly. Like, I do think that so far from the explanations I've read, a lot of it is coincidental, but again, like, we can also talk about some of Reagan's policies that may have led to this sort of this the coincidence of Black Monday occurring, because we know that Reagan did do tax cuts and broader cuts to the social safety net. He did do those, but like in this case, it's completely deliberate. Yep, and broader deregulation. Reagan did do those things, and in this time, it's completely deliberate. We know this. We see this. We know of the tariffs. You know, fucking the reciprocal tariff meme, like reciprocal tariffs. You know, Trump with his big, beautiful, our big, beautiful image. We love the tariffs, folks. We love them. It's being caused by this shit. Right? What day is it? They're supposed to go into effect the 9th, if I recall correctly. That's when they're supposed to be in effect, but, like, dude, it's like... It doesn't matter. It's going to already respond. If anything, it's just going to make it worse, right? Like, it's going to make it crash even more if they do actually go into effect, because, like, it's going to, like, marinate for, like, 2 days, and then it, let's say he backs off, then, like, maybe the market, like, stabilizes and goes back up, try to, in like, as a correction. Or if he just does put him in, it just, like, completely fucking crashes. Bro thinks he's so smart with all those numbers. I unironically believe he fucking just plugged it into ChatGPT, right? What's the likelihood he plugged it into just ChatGPT and just said, like, you know, fuck it, YOLO swag, right? I'm curious. ChatGPT. How would I'm typing this into ChatGPT right now. How would you calculate tariff rates? I wonder if he just did that. Let's see. Example calculation. Customs value 1,000. Tariff rate 10. Ad valorem. Calculation. 1,000 times 10%. $100 tariff to pay. Okay, that seems very simple. I just want to know, like, what was the fucking tariff rate calculator? Because even ChatGPT is not giving the exact same. It's like ChatGPT is not even giving the exact same answer. Like, I think it was the James Sidonetsky a thread where he talked about, like, how he believes or how he thinks it was calculated, and I think he's probably correct when he's saying this. They took the trade deficit, divided it by the amount that that country is exporting as a total, and we're just like, yep, that's their tariff rate. That's how it works. Because again, Trump doesn't know how trade deficits work. Like, when a poor country is, you know, exporting products to the U.S. is the one who are buying all those things because the U.S. is very rich. They can afford to just import as much shit as they want because of how powerful their dollar is and how, like, much money the U.S. has. They can just do that, and it's a beneficial relationship for those for those countries, because it's like, well, we now get to have a huge, like, a reserve of U.S. dollars because, again, the U.S. dollar is the current global reserve currency. So guess what? It's always useful to have a lot of U.S. dollars because it's just a valuable, well, unit of trade, I guess, for lack of a better term, for, you know, being able to have exchanges of goods and services. That's how it works. But again, he doesn't get that because Trump's a fucking idiot. Or he's doing it on purpose. I'm more inclined to say it's because he's an idiot, to be quite honest. Because it's like, come on. We know that this is on purpose. And, like, literally, like, and I caught this out when I saw the sort of list itself. Like, with the countries that just had the 10%, 10%, it's just like, why is it 10%, 10%? Does the US even like import much from that particular country? It turns out it was, yeah, no. He just slapped them with the 10% tariff because he's like, well, I want to make sure I get everyone equally. And they've probably also wronged us. But the tariff rate that like Australia was hitting, like Australia was hitting the US for, apparently, was just completely made up. It was just conjured out of thin air. Like, Australians were like saying, like, dude, we hardly trade with the US, but they're hitting us with a 10% tariff, and they think that we're tariffing them by 10%. We're not. We just don't trade that much. Same with, like, a bunch of the other countries on that list. Like, all the different African countries and, like, uninhabited fucking islands where only penguins live. Yeah, they're gonna pay those fucking tariffs. Those darned penguins. You're gonna give me a tenth of each fish you have, you motherfuckers. What else are you even supposed to say to this? It's just stupid. But we know why it's happening. It's deliberate by the Trump administration because they want private equity to come in and consolidate more and more power. Because what is this all about? I've been harping on this constantly. Maintenance of hierarchy. The billionaires want all of the power. They want even more power concentrated under one particular banner, and that is capital. That is wealth. That is what they care about in particular. And so, guess what? Donald Trump, he's a stooge of the oligarchy. He'll gladly dance to their tune if it means he gets some benefit out of it. And he will. He already sold about like $2.3 billion of stock of his like social media, sort of a conglomerate empire. He's already made a huge killing off of this crash that he's going to cause deliberately. But anywho, we're going to see what happens tomorrow because, well, this is being currently talked about on Sunday. This is just the futures market. There's more to come about this. There will be, I guess, for lack of a better term, another day of judgment.